Hey, what's up, folks? Blitzball Champ back here with a brand new video here on the U to the Tube. So I wanted to talk about something that's really been trending, and actually, recently another report um, was mentioned about this, but wanted to take some time to give my thoughts and talk about the whole CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk 2077 and just how, you know, one would say is pretty much borderline a bust. So I wanted to give my thoughts on this, and also wanted to show that apparently there's been an update that uh, Sony Interactive Entertainment has removed Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store as we speak, and will offer refunds to anybody that's already bought it, to any players that's already bought it. And I'll put the link in the description box. But yeah, until further notice, Cyberpunk 2077 has been removed from the PlayStation Store. Now, I don't know what this means for other platforms, but I believe also other platforms are also offering the opportunity for people to get refunds as well. But yeah. Now, those of y'all that have kept up with me, I've streamed 3 sessions of Cyberpunk 2077. And to be honest with you, which, I streamed on PlayStation 4. I don't have PlayStation 5 yet. Probably won't until next year. But I have to agree. Unfortunately, the game is a mess. The textures, just graphically, looks pretty bad. It takes time to render a lot of areas, a lot of character models. It takes like 20, 30 seconds or even more to do that. And it's just, it's not good. Those that watched my last session, just the fact of me being able to walk up to a character model and it just look bland and just not fully rendered, and he or she doesn't fully render until like 30, 40 seconds later. Things like what I experienced with the whole tried to do the gig, bought information for $600, and then I had to sell some more of my equipment to make another $151 to open a door to get to the objective marker I was trying to get to in the first place. Did that, and the door still never opened. So, just stuff that's broken like that. I feel like the shooting is kind of clunky. Like really, really clunky and really kind of hard to aim. And just, yeah. It could be a lot worse, but, dealing with that, plus, I had to look at a lot of other videos myself, of other streamers, other players, and yeah, I understand that, the next gen console probably didn't have as many issues as like, Xbox One or PS4, but folks have to remember, not everybody has the next gen consoles yet. I mean, they're already pretty hard to get a hold of unless you're at the right place at the right time and, there happens to be some available. But this one thing that I find annoying is I notice that some people are like, well, I have PS5, I have Xbox Series X. I ain't have no problems. You know, why would the folks get it on PS4 and Xbox One? Well, maybe because that's the only consoles that they have it available on, that they have access to. It's like, sorry for not instantly having 500 to spend on a console that isn't easily available. So, I don't know. I just hate hearing stuff like that. But I mean, there are some neat parts of the game with like the brain dancing and the hacking. You know, inventory is like extraordinary. It's like a lot to keep up with. But I have to say, overall, definitely disappointed. Definitely disappointed, and it's going to be really hard for me to continue playing that game. It really is. But and I know CD Projekt Red has issued an apology to everyone, and I know they really want as many as possible to just hold strong, wait until they can get everything fixed and such. I guess pretty much pull a No Man's Sky or pull a Final Fantasy 14 because I'm sure folks remember No Man's Sky original release was terrible, was busted, was broken. So they fixed everything, re-released that. It's great. Same thing with Final Fantasy 14. First came out, broken, busted, the works. Then did a re-release of it later, much much better, much better. So it looks like this might be going through that as well. We'll see. But I gotta be honest with y'all. Being somebody that's worked in the gaming industry, I've been in the gaming industry um, as QA for at least a good 8 years, and I gotta be honest. Like this is a disappointment when you have a game hyped up that's been in development for such a long time. Like, I'm curious. Let me see when was this game announced? Cuz I'm actually really curious when this game was announced. Cuz I want to say it was announced at least maybe 6 or 7 years ago. But like, okay, so about 2012. So the consulting on the project started in 2012, and it entered pre-production pretty much after The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine finished in 2016. So at least 4 years. So at least 4 years. 8 if you want to count the consulting. But I'll say 4 years. I'll say 4 years. 4 years. And that's how it's released. It's kind of a bad look on CD Projekt Red. It's kind of a bad look, and I'm sure also marketing as well. Because, I mean, the game got announced in May of 2012. So it's been heard of since 2012. So, I mean, and they started releasing trailers in January 2013. So, I mean, honestly, whether it's, dev work, marketing, I mean, first of all, just they had plans on releasing it on all these different consoles. I mean, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, uh, PC, Stadia. Like, you already know you have multiple console releases right there. Not the plus on top of you did multiple delays, which you got to make delays in order to fix stuff, polish stuff. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But you get all those delays and you still release a busted game. I'm sorry, but there's really no excuse for that. There's no excuse. I feel bad for CD Projekt Red because I was hyped about this game. I really was. I was super hyped about this game. I pre-purchased it digitally, and I was ready. But I mean, I gotta look at facts. I gotta look at the evidence. I gotta look at what's in front of me, and it's just overall, it's not a great experience. It's not. It's not a great experience. And with this being announced in 2012 and pre-production being at least in 2016, like, and then you had multiple delays up until finally a 2020 release, and it's still busted. It's just, it's really, really bad. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. And I feel bad for CD Projekt Red because at the same time, you know, the pandemic happened, which I'm sure set back some time, and that's understandable. But like I said, because of the time gap, I can be light, but I can't be too light because of such a big time gap. I can understand if this was a game that was just in development very recently and just everything was still in the planning and such. But I mean, like I said, you just got to think about something. The game was announced in 2012. It was announced in 2012. So it's rough, y'all. It's really rough. But a part of me is critical about things like this because I've been in the industry as part of QA. I've been in the industry for so long. So just seeing things like this is why I'm able to understand, when delays happen. I can understand when delays happen, but when you do the delays and you get to your release date and the game is still busted, especially when it's busted on, some of your planned consoles, it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. Um, but I will say this. I will say this. I hope, for the sake of what they've had to go through, with this pandemic, plus on top of this release, I really hope that they're able to bounce back. I hope they can bounce back, maybe pull a No Man's Sky or a Final Fantasy 14 and bounce back, fix the game, maybe, do a re-release, and really just blow everybody away. I think they have the chance to do that. Because like I said, this was rough. This was a bust. This was a bust. When it comes to the release, it was a bust. But at the same time, some of this work it had to do through a pandemic, especially releasing the game on the year of a pandemic. So challenges are challenges. And this is why I hope that CD Projekt Red gets the opportunity to be able to bounce back, really take the time to fix this game, and maybe re-release it much later when it's truly ready. When it's truly ready. But if anything, I hope it's a lesson to not only to them but to a lot of other gaming industry or game development companies. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing worse than having a game which tons and tons of fans are super hyped about, and then you release it and it's crazy buggy. It's glitchy, it's graphically buggy, there's crashes, stuff like that. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and unfortunately it turns out to be a bad reflection of the company. Because you have to also look at it like this. Who knows how much crunch, how much overtime they may have had to do. Think about that. How much of that did they really have to do? And then factor that into the release. That could make it look a lot worse when you think about it. But the whole idea is make a game and you release it as bug-free as possible, which I know can be extremely difficult. But that's what companies have to strive for. Otherwise, it hurts the game, it hurts the release of the game, and it hurts the company. Because after all, the idea is to make great games and to generate this so that you can make more great games. But yeah, to be honest with y'all, fortunately, I don't think I can continue with the playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077. It's just can't do it. Can't do it. I gave it my best. Some may agree with me, some may not agree with me. That's fine. And I can totally understand, being somebody that's been working in the gaming industry for so long. But sometimes the consequences can be rough. And this is nothing short of that. So I hope they can get it together. I really do. But that's all that I have. What are y'all's thoughts? Did y'all buy CD Projekt Red? If you did, what console? how are your experiences? Do you like the game? Do you think it's terrible? Like, would you be willing to hold on until the game gets fixed or re-released? Like, what are y'all's honest thoughts on just everything that's happened with this release of Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red, and just the fact that Sony just flat out removed it from the digital PlayStation Store? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching. I'm Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I'll catch y'all later. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.